beautiful thing about the moon is that it's 238,000 miles from Earth, varying up to a distance of 8,000 miles, depending on the time of day and year which you measure. I know this because when I was in 4th grade, I had this space-themed notebook, and on the back of that notebook, there were statistics on the planets, and at that point in time, I thought that 238,000 miles was pretty far because at that point in time, the highest I had ever been was 7,238 feet in a mountain in Colorado. In B theory, time is viewed as a static state where objects exist in 4 dimensions, and the past and future are just as alive and real as what we perceive to be the present. In this way, time is like a circle without a beginning or end. I was so young when I first realized it. It feels like I've always wanted to explore the depths of space. I can't tell you why infinity is not containable by words. I was 12 the first time I saw the Magic School Bus episode about black holes. I learned that the ugly thing about black holes is that their gravity is so powerful, even light cannot escape their grasp, making them invisible to the naked eye. I was 13, the first time we built a model rocket. My best friend and I, we worked in his basement. It cost $50, took 4 hours. The jet was too powerful. We never found it again after the first launch. I was pissed off we couldn't fire it again. He said seeing it was possible to escape the shitty backyard you started in and fly somewhere else was worth every penny. I was 13 when I discovered my first black hole. Einstein talked about space and time like they were the same thing. Enough mass and velocity can bend either one, creating a kind of gravity which keeps the planet spinning. There were moments in life so full of mass and velocity, no matter how hard we try, our thoughts always get pulled backwards, spinning around what we could have said to make things different. I was 15, the first time I took a physics class. At that point in time, the highest I had ever been was my best friend's birthday party, stoned out of my mind. We smoked in the same basement we used to build rockets, talked about how heaven and hell are just points of view, time is a circle, infinity is not containable by words, and space is everywhere, man. The first time America put a man on the moon, over 1 million people watched. The most recent NASA mission to put humans on another world didn't make the 4th page of a newspaper. I spend more nights staring at a computer screen than the sky. The highest I have ever been was a long time ago. The beautiful thing about the moon landing is that it took the combined efforts of countless individuals for one person to stand 238,000 miles higher than any of us have ever stood in our entire lives, and no one was disappointed because we got to watch. In 2009, when asked about the decision to cut NASA's budget, a representative from the White House said, quote, "There are too many problems on Earth to waste time searching for answers in empty space." That same year, I asked my best friend why he wanted to kill himself, and he said the same thing. Infinity is not containable by words, but somehow it fits into our chest. The beautiful thing about the moon landing is that we finally crawled out of our shitty backyard. The ugly thing about black holes is that we don't seem to do that anymore. We think of other worlds as alien, irrelevant to our lives, and too much of a waste of our time and resources trying to understand. A friend of mine once told me that heaven and hell are just points of view, but there are some nights I can't help staring up at the heavens, hoping I might see him there, because the ugly thing about black holes is that they suck, man. Sometimes they just really, really suck, and it doesn't feel like there's any way to beat the gravity, pulling you back to something you could have said the first time, something you should have said the first time to make things different, but there is no such thing as a first time, because time is a circle, and time is continuous, and time is ugly. But the beautiful, beautiful thing about the moon is that every one of us has seen it, floating so slowly it barely even seemed as if time was moving. And though temporarily out of our reach, we held our hands to the skies because we believed that it was worth touching.